everyone, thank you for joining me. I was inspired to work on something like this. One of my friends is getting married soon, and due to COVID, their wedding is now being Zoom streamed online. A lot of people's lives are changing and events look a little different, so I just wanted to show you a craft that I thought would be great for your own events, for backdrops, or just a little decoration around your home. You'll be completing a star like this. This is my first attempt. It took me at most 15 minutes without drying time. If you guys have any ideas for how to polish it up or maybe fix it together, let me know in the comments. Because this is still sort of a prototype, it's a work in progress. It's super simple and you can make it to fit any event, including changing the color or using, silver or gold, or fishing line to hang from the ceiling. You can really make it your own. For the star project, we'll be needing wooden dowels. I found these at Walmart, less than $4 for the whole pack. They're in assorted sizes, and a couple of them are like square shaped instead of cylinders. You can also always go to like Home Depot or Lowe's and get like the really long wooden dowels and then cut them yourself with a saw and use some sandpaper to clean them up a little bit. That's probably the more cost-efficient way to do that, but I was not about to go searching for lumber. Hot glue gun, any paint. I used whatever I had in my craft supplies. So this is just a yellow acrylic paint. Basically, you just want to cover the wood a little bit to sort of prime it before you put your gold or your final coat of paintbrush. And I'm using some premium brass gilding paint because that's what I have. This is probably, again, not the most cost-efficient way to do this. If you're doing a bunch of these for an event, you may want to use like a gold spray paint, something that's a little faster, or like a cheaper paint, or like a spray glue with glitter or something like that. And I use string. The hot glue is not the best on its own, given that you're stacking all the pieces, so the string just helps hold the center together a little better. And anything to put paint on, I've got one of those painter's trays. Alright, so I have covered my workspace a little bit. I've just got some paper down. I've picked out 5 different wooden rods, the dowels here. And I'm also going to include one of these like square shaped pieces, because I'm interested to see how this works with the other ones. I haven't tried that yet. So we're gonna learn together, and if it doesn't work, we can just try again, because I've got a whole bag of towels over there. And if you want to spray paint, you've got a space where you can easily do that and do that without making a mess. Go ahead and do that. I think that would be a little faster. I kind of enjoy just the process of hand painting. I also live in an apartment building, and so I don't really have an outdoor backyard space, so this works a little better for me. Again, you can do whatever you need to get this project done. It really is just a jumping off point. You can make this as complicated as you want, or as simple, but for me the whole point of being able to create something is like a moment of self-care and time myself. Even if you don't end up using anything you make, sometimes it's worth it just in the process, Right, so I'm about to make a bit of a mess. That's okay. I'm always reminded of like Bob Ross. Happy little trees. We're learning together. It's a mistake. Don't sweat. I think the Zoom wedding thing is pretty cool, and I think more people will, like, even after all this is over, consider doing it that way, because it's so much more accessible for family and friends. And time warp, I've got 2 done. Moving on to the next one. So speaking of wedding, I would like to recommend an organization to you that I am super excited about. That organization is Church Street Bridal in Lynchburg, Virginia. And their entire sort of mission is supporting the YWCA of Central Virginia. And they're opening up a new location, I believe, in Berryville soon, so you can look forward to that. And you're like, why are you telling me about a bridal shop? Well, I have to tell you, it is one of the best kept bridal dress shopping secrets in the state. So even if you don't live in Virginia, I highly recommend checking them out. All of their dresses come from Kleinfelds. Yes, like Kleinfelds in New York and Atlanta, like the Kleinfelds. So these are designer dresses worth thousands of dollars. And you can get these dresses for anywhere from like $200 to $600. But they're all deeply discounted designer dresses. Mine was actually from Church Street Bridal, and I loved my experience with them. They were so great. And I got one of those dresses from Kleinfelds for like $600. And we're talking like French lace. Also, what's better than a great deal? Well, knowing that your great deal also supports an awesome organization. The YWCA serves women. They fight for pay equity. They are a group working towards anti-racism and towards making sure that women and girls have a safe place to be. And really wonderful knowing that my dress was able to fund the work that they do. And you can find information about both Church Street Bridal and the YWCA of Central Virginia in the description below. There'll be links to those websites. Definitely check that out. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research, and I think you'll find it's a really great organization. Almost done. While those are drying, I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun. Again, if you've got ideas, let me know. I've tickled myself up. That's okay. It's a reminder to me that little things that go wrong, let them happen for a moment and then fix it. Also, I'm no expert, and I'll tell you how you can tell that. If the video itself weren't enough, I'm really rough on my brushes. They tend to get a little destroyed. I use them and reuse them over and over and over again. So if you're a real artist and you've been professionally trained and you see my brushes, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna take my dowel that's the most dry here. They're all mostly dry. And I'm just gonna do a little dot of glue in the middle. I'm just going to rest another dowel on top. And I kind of eyeballed it. If you are one of those people that can't let that go and needs it to be in the center, absolutely go for it. I did not. Practicing some restraint when it comes to being able to control everything. All right, and then same thing, I just do a dot on top of that next stack. I glue it down. I think it looks so much better if you don't obsess over it. It's not really worth it, in my opinion. And we're just kind of stacking them. If you haven't noticed, I've got these two dowels here, two of the square ones just sitting down, just so that things dry a little better. Again, it's not completely balanced, but that's okay. It's still gonna look okay in the end, at least in my opinion. There might be a better way to do this. I haven't found it yet. Thought about a nail or like a screw. Wanted to avoid the power tools. I'm really not sure my neighbors would appreciate all the hammering in the middle of the day with everyone working from home. You gotta pull out the heavy duty electrical tools. Is it really that simple? At this point, I'm just sitting here holding it together. I'm gonna unplug my hot glue gun because if I don't, I will find a way to burn myself. I'm going to cut a length of string, maybe a foot. I'm gonna take it and thread it like under the whole star, and then take like a knot. Really, my goal here is just to attach it. It's okay if it's not super tight. But as you can see, I've just sort of tied it all the way around from the bottom to the top. We're just kind of wrapping it around the middle at various points, assuming your string doesn't break. We are going to tie a little knot at the end. That just gives you a little extra stability in the whole thing. I'm adding a little more hot glue, getting a little loosey-goosey here, which is probably both a reflection of my knot tying skills and my impatience. Again, if you're using any sort of spray paint or spray glue with glitter, you might be a little smarter than me. If you are using metallic paint, be sure to read the warnings. Don't need it. It does separate a lot, so you just gotta be careful to shake it every once in a while when you're doing this. Yes, I do cover the glue and the string. Again, I think there's probably something really cool you could do here with wrapping the string and then painting over it, maybe create sort of a texture around the dowels. You want to use these for like a baby shower or any other event. I think it'd be really cool. Honestly, I think it looks really cool just sitting there. Just take the time to do it the way you need to do it, you know? I hate those craft videos where if you don't do one step correctly, it like turns into a pile or a complete mess. Sometimes my projects are a complete mess anyway, and that's okay. I don't claim to be an expert. And you know what? Who says you have to be an expert to do any sort of like arts and crafts? For the first time doing anything, I think is super brave. It takes a lot of work to try and do something new yourself. Just say to yourself, I'm covered in paint, and that's okay. Little dabs on the ends of all my rods here. So I'll forget if I don't. I think the most important too when you're doing this is just to do something that's kind of organic for you, and you know, if you find this type of thing doesn't work, you can always try something else. Crocheting, cooking, like using paintball guns to spray things at a canvas. Just do something creative. Alright, so as you can see, it's starting to get a little more shiny. We're getting there. We got a little bit of a glitter going. It doesn't have to be perfect to look good, you know? There's so many projects where like I feel like you have to have the exact technique down to make it look good. Have you seen those people that like refinish their microfiber couches with paint? It's anxiety inducing, first of all, but they say, oh, you know, use 2 different shades of paint and just like rub it on, rub it off until you get the desired texture you're looking for. But like, I don't think I could replicate that, and then I would be out a couch. There's really high stakes there. I think those are too high stakes for me, actually. Makes you think, though, who immediately thought, I'm not going to reupholster this, I'll just paint it. Hopefully, when it's done, this one's going to look a lot like this. I kind of like using the different shaped dowels. Like I said, check out Church Street Bridal and the YWCA. Don't forget to drink water.